Story 1. Am I the a-hole? My 47 male son, 28 male, cheated on his pregnant wife, 25 female, and now I'd rather support her than him. Me and my wife, 48 female, have 3 kids, and this one is the oldest. Admittedly, we made some mistakes with him. He was unplanned. We had him very young. We were both balancing school and work, and he was always troubled. I thought we had done some work, mended some bridges, and that he got over the issues of his younger days. When he got married, my wife and I were so happy, and we thought she was wonderful, and that she brought out the best in him, and when they told us she was pregnant earlier this year, we were so happy. I can't wait to be a grandpa. Well, the pregnancy is now at risk, and my daughter-in-law had to go on bed rest. She can barely get out of bed at all, and me, my wife and his 2 sisters, 21 and 17, have been doing our best to help her since she doesn't really have about it and excusing his behavior. She kept arguing with me until I got frustrated and hung up. In the weeks since, my daughter-in-law has basically been inconsolable. She's been staying with us, and me, my wife and my youngest daughter had been doing our best to support her through this. We'd sit with her and watch TV or talk or have family meals, and we're doing our best, but she's clearly devastated. He's been sending her threats of divorce, of how she's going to remain alone and unloved and a single mom and won't have anyone if she doesn't come back. And it got so bad we just told her to block him, and when he tried that crap with my wife, she told him the way he was acting he was the one who's gonna remain alone. We've told daughter-in-law we'll stick by her no matter what, and as far as we're concerned she is family and we love her. She seems grateful but still very sad, understandably. My son has been pestering us too, growing more and more aggressive until everyone just blocked him on everything. My mom keeps telling me about that blood thicker than water bullcrap, but you know what? F that. Maybe we weren't the best parents to my son, as we left him with my mom a lot as we had to go to school and work, and maybe he felt neglected, and maybe that was why he was acting out. But still, I just can't excuse treating the woman he supposedly loves this way, making up what I'm pretty sure are total lies about her and not even trying to apologize or make any sort of amends. So F blood, I choose the daughter-in-law who has been nothing but loving and wonderful to all of us and needs us now over the son who's been difficult and has now turned into the worst piece of crap adult. So there, I said it. My son is a piece of crap and I think I might hate him. Maybe it's my fault, maybe I should have been different when he was a child, but this is how things are right now, and I want nothing to do with him. So here I am, looking for validation inline. Am I the a-hole? Does my mom have a point? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Your son is just looking for excuses not to be a father. At this junction, my response would be, what is the best possible situation for my future grandchild, and what do I need to do to make sure that child is secure, loved and supported? His mother keeps saying blood is thicker than water, and daughter-in-law is literally having his grandchild. I say protect the daughter-in-law and grandchild at all cost, and that innocent child is the priority now. The son can go kick rocks. He sounds a lot like my oldest brother, who always blames my parents for all his bad choices. Meanwhile, me and my other two siblings have the exact same parents as him, yet we were able to rise above it. Not the a-hole. I'm sorry your son turned out the way he has. And maybe you and your wife did make some mistakes when you were raising him. But he's an adult, and he's responsible for his own assholery. He sounds like a horrible human being, and until he reforms, if he ever does, which is doubtful, then all of you deserve the peace his absence from your lives will bring. Parenting is hard. My son left his pregnant GF for another woman who was married and refuses to acknowledge she's pregnant with his baby. I talk to her several times a week, they're in a different state, but haven't spoken to him since midsummer. Partially his choice because he typically hides out when he's making horrible life decisions. This is out of character for him. In fact, I don't even recognize this person, but my husband and I have to support the vulnerable and hurt parties, and she's carrying our first grandchild. He may be choosing to miss this, but we will not. We'll be there for her every step of the way. Good luck with yours and congrats on the grandbaby. Not the a-hole. Tell your mother your daughter-in-law is carrying her blood, so that blood is thicker than water shit can't be an argument to choose him over her. Not that it could anyway, considering the full verse is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which is the complete opposite of what she's trying to argue. Not the a-hole. My ex cheated while I was pregnant, and I found out right after our kid was born. My mother-in-law went nuclear on him, as did the rest of his family. I will never forget their support during that time, because my entire world imploded in that moment. Not the a-hole. Good for you and your wife to stand up and help daughter-in-law when it's clear she was the person who was wronged. As for your mother, you can tell her that her quote is incomplete because the full one is blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb, meaning the family you choose means more than blood. Not the a-hole. I don't care if you were the best parents ever or the biggest worms to ever have a kid. Using how your parents treated you as an excuse for neglecting and cheating on your wife is repulsive. I hope someone brands the words cheating jerk on this guy's forehead so anyone can clearly see what he is. Your daughter-in-law will continue to need support, even after the baby is here. You're doing great helping her so far. It's rough, but you will get through this as a family. Also, encourage daughter-in-law to strike the first blow. Your son clearly will not change. She needs to file for divorce and get all the evidence of his affair in order. Family court doesn't play on these infidelity issues, and he'll be paying some serious child support and spousal support. After that, good luck finding a woman that wants his broke butt. Good luck to you and your family, minus the son. Story 2. Would I be the a-hole if I don't invite my cousin to my wedding? I am recently engaged. My dad has a big family, but on mom's side it's just her, my grandma, my aunt, and one cousin. I don't have the highest opinion of my cousin. I didn't notice it growing up due to an age gap and him not taking much interest in the family, show up to Christmas in time to open his gifts and leave right after, etc. But in adulthood I've pretty much gathered that he got all of the worst traits from his parents. He's self-absorbed and acts like he's better than us despite obvious issues with gambling and alcohol. More importantly, he's been openly hostile to my mom recently, demeaning her and even threatening her over her conflicts with my aunt. Mom's relationship with her sister is shaky at best. My aunt has always been my grandparents' favorite child, and so her son was always their favorite grandchild. I love my aunt, but she consistently creates problems between her and my mom because she knows that no matter who starts it or what it's over, grandma will take her side. Every time. And mom will have to fix it. Every time. Things have only gotten worse since grandpa died. My aunt has been insufferable. Grandma moved out of her house, but not before my aunt gutted the place for anything of value, sold it, and kept every penny for herself. Grandma tried to give his truck to my brother, who doesn't have a vehicle, and there was dispute over that for weeks until she was allowed to sell that too. Everything notably sentimental of my grandpa's went to my cousin, the flag he was given as a deceased veteran, all of his medals, and the pocket knife he carried every day of my life. I was given a mug that I had never seen before. I actually wouldn't have held that against my cousin, if it weren't for this. When grandpa died, he didn't come. My brother, my fiancé, and I were there for the whole process. We took time off work to help his wife and daughters while processing our own grief. I overheard a phone call where this 80-year-old woman who had done everything for him, bailed him out of jail, took him in when his parents abandoned him in high school, anything he needed, asked him through her tears to come be with her, and he wouldn't come. My fiancé is very against inviting him to the wedding. In his words, if he doesn't want to be a part of this family, he doesn't have to. If he won't cry with us, he doesn't get to laugh with us. I am inclined to agree. The problem is that if I don't invite him, the damage to my mother's already fragile family unit might be irreparable. My aunt will never forgive me, or her, for not making me invite him, and grandma will be devastated that I don't want my cousin there. The truth is, even if I invite him, he likely won't come, so I might be creating an issue where there doesn't need to be one. Also important to note, my mom hasn't asked me to exclude him. She doesn't want more conflict. I am the one who doesn't want him there. So, would I be the a-hole if I just didn't invite him? Now for the comment. Not the a-hole, it's your wedding and a time for you to celebrate. If inviting someone could interfere with that in any way, then why invite them? Also, it doesn't sound like you have a close relationship to your aunt and cousin anyways. With my cousin, definitely not. My aunt is a little trickier. We used to be closer when I was younger because she didn't have any daughters, so she used to borrow me to do girly things with. I'm not so close to her nowadays, but mom still really loves her sister, even when she's being the way she's been. Not the a-hole. It's your wedding, invite who you want. Period. I'll add this though, if it was me, I'd never send him an invite, but say you did. You know he's not going to show, so why waste the postage? Is it ethical? Nah, but it saves drama. Not the a-hole. In the Marine Corps, we have a name for this type of guy, jackwagon. Stop enabling your aunt and cousin's terrible behavior. They act like this because they have been enabled their entire lives. Your grandmother is reaping what she allowed, which is sad, but not your problem. Have your wedding without the drama of those two, because I can pretty much guarantee they will try to ruin the day for you. You have your fiancé to think of as well. It is their day, too. I'm going against the grain here, but I think you're the a-hole if you don't invite him. You won't be the one who suffers from this choice. Your mum will. Your grandma will. And while I agree with you that I wouldn't want him there, it comes down to if you love your mum and grandma more than you dislike your cousin. Was going to say this, if it's going to bring a lot of grief and trouble for mom, and especially since you think he won't come anyways, I would invite him. Otherwise plan to not invite him, grandma, and aunt, but plan to help your mom with the aftermath because it won't be pretty. Story 3. Am I the a-hole? In-laws are filthy, now I might be sick. 28 female, 6 months pregnant and just freshly got done with my first semester of an incredibly rigorous master's program. I finally have a month off. It is the holiday season, so of course there is traveling to see family on both sides. My boyfriend, 30 male, is the absolutely most patient and kind man I've ever met in my life. Truly, I love him immensely. We just came back from visiting his mom, who lives in another state. This was the first time I had been there. I just want to say, the condition of his mother's home is filthy. He had warned me that it was a little cluttered and that he typically had to clean a little when he goes up to visit them once a year, but nothing prepared me for what I saw. The amount of dirt and grime that was all over the floors, bathroom, nightstands right next to where I was sleeping was absolutely insane. Not to mention they have 7 big dogs that get in your face and climb the furniture as well as mark their territory all over the house. The 2 nights that we were there, I did not dare shower, due to the mold and grime in the bathtub, and would not sit on their toilet seat from the ungodly amount of feces stains all over it. I was absolutely horrified. It was truly something out of a horror film. And the kicker? I never saw anyone wash their hands after using the bathroom the whole weekend. I had to make my boyfriend stop at a Dollar General to get me some soap and hand sanitizer because there wasn't any in the house at all. The whole weekend I didn't eat anything more than a few bites from their home cooking because I was terrified of getting sick, especially after noticing they had roaches in the kitchen. Now that we are home, I woke up this morning with a slight sore throat with a stuffy nose, which can absolutely be from change of weather, or it could be from the fact that every single person in that house was coughing, sneezing, and his mother even had diarrhea at one point. His sister's daughter was incredibly sick and continuously coughed all over me and my face while everyone laughed and smiled at how funny she is. Which is incredibly annoying because, again, I am 6 months pregnant and they didn't say any of them were sick before showing up. Plus I had just gotten over a bad cold just before Thanksgiving. The boyfriend was absolutely embarrassed all weekend and we talked about getting a hotel next time we ever go up and visit them, but I don't know. I kind of wished we would have just gotten a hotel room the first night because according to him, he could not believe that the house was that bad. Am I the a-hole for absolutely never wanting to go see them again or wanting my son, when he is born, to stay there? I'm mostly upset because of me being pregnant and wanting to protect my son, and also if I am sick, I won't be able to see my family for our family Christmas. Some members I haven't seen in years due to me not being about to come home because of working in healthcare and being on call. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Your boyfriend's mother's home sounds disgusting. I can't blame you for not showering or eating anything they cooked, OP. I'm sorry you went through that. Especially while 6 months pregnant. Seriously, none of them washed their hands after using the restroom? That's insane. Everyone learns hand washing as small children. It's basic hygiene. What the hell is wrong with these people? If you ever visit them again, get hotel room. Stay healthy and stay away from their filthy house. If they want you to come over, set boundaries due to their uncleanliness. Have them meet you and your family in public for dinner instead. If this is true, absolutely not the a-hole, but somehow I can't see anyone staying in that house for 2 days and eating anything. Saltine crackers were my dinner Friday night. Saturday night I ate 2 bites of a baked potato and 2 bites of grilled chicken. You're bringing me back to the first time I ever visited my ex-in-law's house. I honestly thought the flypaper was decorative at first glance. There was that much of it. There was also the bathroom that served also as the bathroom for several very large dogs. Peeing while straddling a shit the dog left right in front of the toilet was fun. I, too, felt incredibly uneasy eating there. I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that I threw out the clothes I wore there. I could not get the smell out no matter how many times I washed them. You wouldn't be the a-hole to not bring your kids there. Yikes. Luckily my boyfriend is incredibly supportive and on my side with all of this. He doesn't want his son in that environment at all either. I just don't get people. I had a similar situation at my now mother-in-law's home. She had indoor-outdoor cats and I'm highly allergic to cats. Her house was dusty, cat hair everywhere, and smelled like cat pee, not to mention all the clutter. We were there for 30 minutes and my eyes started to itch and water. Tried Benadryl and it didn't make a dent. It was the day before Thanksgiving and we had to get a hotel room that was pet-friendly because we had our puppy with us. Ended up in a ghetto hotel, but at least it was clean. She never forgave me for not staying at her house, and the next time we visited her, the house smelled like bleach. She made it a point to comment AB at being up to my standards. So we decided that visits would more than likely be at the home when the baby gets here, unless of course they absolutely just cannot come down. I feel once she sees how we live, she may get the idea of why we aren't coming back. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, consider like and subscribe. If you want more stories like these, turn on your notification to receive the latest stories.